Here's what you should know about your local housing market in this week's Market Update. Spring market is in full swing, so what's actually happening on the ground? Well, we're still seeing extremely low inventory. We're seeing some pretty wild competition. So buyers, you need to come into this market with a strategy, a plan, and sellers, you really need to make sure that you're not leaving money on the table. We're seeing some really strong offers on our listings. However, just because you're getting multiple offers and you're getting above list price does not mean that you've captured as much of your value as you should have. So make sure you have a good plan, a good strategy, and fully market that property to its full potential. So let's get into the stats this week and see how they're shaping up. So this past week, we're looking at Morristown, Chatham, Madison, Harding, Morris Plains, Mendham, Chester, Bernardsville, Basking Ridge, and Randolph. We saw 54 homes come on the market this past week in these towns. That is a 4% decrease from last week, so ever so slightly. But for the most part, we're seeing consistent new inventory on the market this week over the prior week. Let's hope that continues. Out of these, 41 were single-family houses, and 13 of those were condos or townhouses. So a pretty consistent mix between condos and townhouses, between single-family houses and townhouses. Average list price this past week, $1,341,000. That's just a 15% decrease over what we saw last week. Total inventory. Total homes actively on the market is currently 197 homes. That is a slight increase over last week, a 4% increase to be exact. We are still a long ways away from seeing a healthy amount of inventory to meet the buyer demand. So do still expect competition on most fronts. We would love to see those inventory numbers increase to really balance out this market just a little bit more. So if you're thinking of selling, there is plenty of room to play in this market. Let's get that going and fully take advantage of the opportunities that exist right now. Homes sold. This past week, we saw 22 homes sell in these towns. That is a staggering 120% increase over the prior week. Average list price of these homes was $1,279,000. The average sale price was $1,376,000. So this past week, we saw homes sell for an average of 7.6% above list price. Now, kind of surprising when we look at a town-by-town breakdown, the two towns that we're looking at in Somerset County both saw homes sell somewhat substantially below list price. We saw Bernardsville, where homes sold 4% below list price, and Basking Ridge, where homes sold 4.5% below list price. So that's kind of surprising because when we look at all of our Morris County towns, homes were selling way above list price. Anywhere from the lowest being Mendham at 6% above list price, Madison at 7% above list price, Morristown and Morris Township at 10.2% above list price, Randolph at 12.2% above list price, Chatham at 13.6% above list price, and Chester at 20% above list price. So other than these couple of outliers, now keep in mind, Bernardsville, that was just one home. Basking Ridge was just two homes. But for the most part, if you're out there competing in this marketplace right now, homes are going well above list price. We're seeing pretty wild price appreciation continuing. Average days on market of the homes that were sold this past week was 20 days on market. As anticipated, the towns that saw homes sell below list price had a substantial, about 2 months on the market. The rest of them, you're looking at 2 weeks on the market. Under contract. We saw 24 homes go under contract this past week. It's a 43% decrease over the prior week. And those average list price of those homes was $1,524,000, which is a 30% increase over the prior week. And then the average days on market for those homes was surprising, big increase, 53 days on market. However, you've got Harding with 111 days on market, and you've got Bernardsville with 183 days on market for those homes that went under contract. The rest of them, you're looking at about 2 weeks on the market. So homes are still moving pretty quickly. not just in the lagging data with the homes sold, but in the current data, homes that are going under contract, we're seeing similarly fierce competition out there. So if you're looking to play in this market, if you're looking to purchase a home, it is still a ripe time. We're seeing home prices with no sign of slowing down. So get in the game before you miss out and they continue to rise even more. And for home sellers, now is the prime time to capitalize on this lower than normal competition and this fierce buyer demand. So spring is in full swing. Before we know it, we're going to be getting into that summer market, which can be a little bit slower. Although with numbers like this, it'd be surprising to see that slow down much. But that being said, if you're looking to purchase a home and play in this market this spring and be in by fall, by Labor Day, we should be taking action now. So thanks so much for checking in with me, guys. I hope you have a great weekend, and I'll catch you again next week.